Innovative.
What's the deal? It's your man, Deshaun Showtime Watkins. We'll see.
It is the Booker man himself, Shiloh Greaves.
The Pride Fighter American ONI.
I'm cool ass Cam, the coolest motherfucker on the planet.
All right.
And now you have just entered into the culture of Comptonmania. And our special guest today is none other than the American ONI, the
Welcome.
one and only.
Thank you, thank you.
Yay!
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Talk to us, American ONI. When did you fall in love with wrestling?
Probably when I was like 5 years old. I had, much like everybody else, I had an older cousin that was into it.
Okay.
And, you know, it was the 80s back then, so it was wild. You know, yeah, all the crazy costumes and everything.
Who was the wrestler that got you, like, started? Like, who was just that first dosage where you just needed?
So I have ADHD.
Okay.
So Warrior.
Oh,
Warrior.
yeah,
All right, Warrior corrupted a whole generation. I'm telling you, the early millennials got.
I'll tell you, becoming a wrestler and learning how to wrestle, that's heartbreaking as a Warrior fan.
Right.
Because he was so bad.
Yeah.
He was so bad.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. So Ultimate Warrior was like your biggest inspiration as a kid. Give me some things about the Ultimate Warrior, because the Ultimate Warrior was one of my favorites. What were some of the things about the Warrior that you loved?
It was just the energy and the charisma behind it.
The colors,
I didn't even care what he was
Yup.
saying because his promos made no sense whatsoever.
It was incoherent
You were just
ramblings.
there for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It was just cocaine rants.
Literally.
You were just there for it. And it was just like him running to the ring and shaking the ropes. Like, again, ADHD kid. I'm like shaking the couch,
Yeah.
trying to copy him, you know? Yeah, it's just that, you know, that passion, that energy, and that excitement that will pull the kid in.
Wow. So as a kid, did you know then that you wanted to do it?
You know, I grew up in a martial arts family.
Okay.
So combat sports and all that has always been part of, like, it's part of my blood. It's generations of it. And I didn't know as a kid that that's something that I could do. You know, I didn't know that was like, because also I'm a big superhero geek. So that's right there, especially in the 80s, they were like real life superheroes fighting each
Yeah.
other, like
It's a
good
great
versus
combo.
evil and all that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that was something you could do until I was probably a teenager and I went to my first indie show.
Where was that at?
So I grew up in Victorville.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Victorville.
that's for those of you in the LA area that don't know where Victorville is, it's 2 hours on the way to Vegas out in the middle of nowhere.
That's the halfway point.
I tell everybody,
yeah.
just keep going. Don't stop there.
Yep.
It's awful. But Victor Valley College had an EWF show.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Shout out
So
to
Jesse.
EWF.
Okay.
And back
All
then
right.
it was Jesse and Bill Anderson.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bill Anderson was the first professional wrestler I've ever had a conversation with.
Really?
And he was like, I was 14 at the time, and I was like, how can I do this? And he was like, finish high school, and then come see us in San Bernardino when you finish high school. And that's basically what happened. I graduated high school, and that summer I started training.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what year would this have been?
2001.
2001. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Dang.
It was a whole different scene at the time.
That's
It was the
crazy.
Wild West back then.
It was a whole different,
It was Wild West back then. And it's to watch wrestling change in general, like from back then to where it is now,
Yeah.
like the effects of the internet, because the internet was like a baby in 2001.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And social media on top of that, like to get booked back then, like you used to have your trainer or a booker that you know contact another booker and say, oh no, they're good, they're trained and stuff like that. That was before people had like highlight reels that would
Yup.
they just email to promoters and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I had to like relearn how to get booked because I was just used to like Jesse going like, no, you can't go do that show, or all that stuff. But and that politics behind it, but like just the change of everything.
Do you think because of the change, do you think it's better or worse then or now?
I mean, it's kind of apples to oranges, because there's lots of things that are better.
Okay.
There are a lot of things that are better. Do I like the old school in me likes that the more the secrecy of how things are done
Right.
was kept to it back there, but the great thing about the new version with the internet and the fans kind of being smart and stuff like that, it's made atmospheres better, locker rooms better, because it's getting rid of bad people who would have been protected. Now, it still happens a lot.
Absolutely.
But not nearly the way it used to be. Like, there were secrets and stuff. Like, so for those of you who are not familiar with me, I'm called the Pride Fighter because I am an out queer person. I remember when I started training, I was probably 125 pounds. I was really tiny. Like, we in the queer community call it a twink.
No,
That's what we call it. Right? And I'll tell you, one of the first things I learned was like, I heard my trainers go, "Oh, we got to keep Pat Patterson away from this one."
no.
Damn,
No.
Damn.
So, you just hear stuff like that and hearing things being secretive and like people knowing stuff happening but not saying anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just about protecting the business. You're protecting the boys and stuff. But nowadays, if somebody's being a predator, they're like, hopefully they get called out, and then
It's much more likely now.
yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah, and it's like for good or for better or for worse. I mean, like, I'm also known in the scene, and I know Shiloh knows this about me, is I run my mouth.
Okay.
And I upset a lot of people because, being on the autism spectrum, I have a low tolerance for injustice. So I'm always the one that stands 10 toes down, and I stand on business. And if I see something, I say something. And a lot of wrestlers don't like that. So it's got me in a lot of trouble in a lot of locker rooms. And like I said, Shiloh and I have had this conversation before. And, I'm not about canceling people. That's a big misconception. I'm about accountability. I'll give you a great example, and I'll probably get in trouble for saying this. However, one of my trainers is Brian Kendrick.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got canceled because he said some stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I'm not going to go into detail. People have Google. They can figure that out.
Right.
But here's a big difference between what Brian did and some other wrestlers do things. After Brian made that mistake, he was called out on it. And he then had conversations with those communities he hurt. And he even wrote checks to organizations to help that. So my thing is like about accountability. People make mistakes. People say stupid shit. I'm 42 years old. I know I've said stupid shit.
Yeah.
And my thing is, as long as you learn and you grow as a human being, that's the way to go. So like cancel culture side, one thing, my thing is accountability. That's how I've always been.
Do you feel like that's hurting you too? Like do you feel?
Oh yeah, it's hurt my career a lot. Yeah, like there are very popular wrestlers that don't like me. Even in the queer community, other queer wrestlers don't like me because.
Well, and that's kind of the thing. I'm glad you bring that up because I feel like that's a community that just everyone thinks there's just a single mind to it.
Not at all.
And it's because I've seen the way y'all go at it, man. It's like it's crazy, yeah.
Right. It's there's all different. Again, I grew up in the desert.
Yeah.
In the 80s. I've been called slurs my whole life. I've had friends beat up and left to die in the desert.
Oh my.
I've seen some horrible shit, and so I'm pretty militant about stuff. And I I also, now that I teach and most of my students are queer, I feel protective of them. So I want to make sure the wrestling world is a safe space for them as well.
So tell me more about that. Like, so did you guys just run a show recently?
So not one of my students actually ran a show.
Oh,
recently.
okay.
Yeah,
What's going? Okay,
So she just ran Trans Angeles Wrestling.
there we go. Okay,
And that was one of my students from my Wrestling 101 class. And she also started training over at Santino's for a while. And she decided she was going to run her own trans show. And she met a lot of, again, crazy stuff happens. There was an event called T-Boy Wrestling. And it became like, and everybody thought that this is going to be like, oh, this is a space for us. And we won't have to worry about, no offense to everybody else here, the cis-hets ruining this for us.
yeah.
And then the promoter of T-Boy Wrestling ended up being a carny and ruining it for everybody.
Damn.
Right.
So you have all these like queer and trans groups trying to start up to kind of fill that gap where that left. So,
Yeah, that does happen. That does happen. Like you'll see, and I forgot who. Somebody made a post today, like talking about like that. There's a lot of those types of shows where it's just a bunch of straight dudes taking spots on the, on the queer shows. Like it's kind of just. It's crazy.
It happens all the time.
Happens a lot. Yeah, they'll do anything.
I'm the pride fighter.
Right.
I use they them pronouns. I'm non-binary. I am pansexual. So that means I'm hearts, not parts. If I'm attracted to a human being, it's because I like that human being, regardless of their gender identity. I do not have a single Pride Month booking.
Wow.
But I know tons of straight men who do.
Why is that?
Wow.
Well, no, seriously, why is that though?
Well, I honestly, I think
me.
it's because, again, I rub people the wrong way. And although I'm militant about stuff, there are a lot of queer wrestlers that don't want to rock the boat. They want to have a good time. They want to be the fun person, the fun time queer, and that's fine. That's not. It's not for everybody to stand like that. Not everybody has that energy to go like, I want to do better for my community. Some people just have the energy to do better for themselves, and I understand that.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell a trans woman how to live as a trans woman, and and if she's just getting booked and she's happy getting booked where she's getting booked, I'm not going to tell her she's wrong for that because she's doing what she has to do.
Right.
To be in those spaces.
And this is something that's obviously very, deep to you guys' hearts, and it makes me wonder, like, do you think that this militant, like how Deshaun said, like, do you think that not working with certain people, do you think do you think you're taking yourself out of rooms sometimes instead of getting kicked? Okay. So
I definitely have.
And that's where I wonder, do you think that the platform that you want, like, do you think that it kind of suffers from that, from taking yourself out of those rooms?
It does, but at the same time, because now I have that responsibility of training other people, I have to walk the talk. So if I'm telling, so what I tell all of my students, all of them, whether they're like just with me with a short time and they move on to Knox or they move on to like Santino's or whatever, I tell them, if you learn anything from me, I want you to know consent. Because there's a lot of people, especially queer wrestlers and femme-presenting wrestlers, they will do stuff that they're not comfortable doing because they want to hold that space.
Absolutely.
And when I say stuff like that to them, I can't say that to them and then go ahead and work with someone who I know is a complete bigot when I'm saying you shouldn't tolerate bigotry. That would make me a hypocrite.
So what happens if you have a bigot that's a fan of you?
A fan of me?
Yeah, like just like it's no, because this is a real thing.
Damn.
This is no because
So-
it's.
I haven't had this that I'm aware of.
You'll be surprised. No, because
I'm
this is a
aware
good
of.
fucking wrestler.
No,
and,
Yes.
Thank you.
and you appeal
Yes.
to more people than you think. And
But I will say, like, I try to be nice to everybody. Like, I give everybody an opportunity to show themselves, and will I tolerate bullshit? No, I don't. But I will give people the opportunity to show themselves.
Right.
And if a fan is, so I always look at this because I know that there are fans who absolutely don't like me. And I always look at it this way. A fan is paying either in money or time. If it's a free show, they're paying in their time.
Right.
They drove there, whatever. They're paying to see me. They can have whatever opinion they want because they're the one that's paying to see me.
Correct.
You know, like, it's the booker and the promoters pay my bills. You know, the fans, unless they're buying my merch, they're not really paying my bills. They're not helping me. So I'm going to pay them no mind. So, but with that example, if someone who I would categorize as a bigot suddenly became a fan of mine, hopefully they'll learn something.
That's what I think. That's where I really think your responsibility as a character comes in, you know, because I think that's what wrestling lacks is just characters that teach lessons. You know, like that's, you know, back in the day, it's like, gosh, Stephanie McMahon taught us you can't trust a lot of these good girl types, you know, like, no, like, it's fun. Yeah, like, it's just,
fact.
She taught us deception, you know. Edge and Lee, that was also another story of deception. You had Undertaker and Kane coming back, stories of revenge, you know, before that all fell apart, you know, so it's just, there's so many different lessons that came from it. Now it's just become like this emotionless dance. And, you know, but going back to what you were talking about, you know, it's a very politically charged issue. And it's so funny because coming up in the game, let's see, when I started, George Bush was president.
Okay.
And it was like very much like, keep your politics to yourself. Because in that world, you could kind of do that, you know, because like Bush, horrible president, but he wasn't a nut. So, you know, it was one of those things where, you know, now it's like the environment is so politically charged now and on this exact issue. And that's what brings us to what happened last night.
Okay, Booker, man.
So we had UFC at the White House last night. We had multiple WWE people in attendance. And we had a bit of an issue where one of the fighters took the microphone after his fight, and he beat Derek Lewis, who's a damn good fighter, has possibly the most knockouts in UFC history.
Wow.
He beat him, knocked him out in the second or third round, and he grabs the microphone and in his biggest moment of his career says Michelle Obama is a man. And the crazy part about this is right after that happens, the camera pans over to Roman Reigns and Triple H.
Oh, wow.
And they're just, I just want to show Roman's face like at the beginning of this. Because it's like,
I didn't watch this, so I
this
don't know.
is, this was, this is just a still shot. You know, but it's just like, yeah, this man is catching heat right now, and it's just and it's fucked up because let me tell you something. Call me crazy. I love America. I'm very patriotic. I'm very, you know, I love the concept of America, not what it actually is. You know, but it's one, but I did think the whole setup of the UFC White House was really cool. The entire presentation was really good, and it's just that one moment took away from the whole thing. But it's just going from that and panning right over to these guys, like the top two faces in the industry, you could argue, and then telling us that the business is not political. It's very difficult for a lot of us to stomach. You know, I've been very outspoken. I've burned a lot of bridges over my views. I've lost a lot of fans over my views on both sides. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if you're going to be on a platform, you know, you have to be real careful which platform you're choosing, because I feel like this bubble right now, my mom, she said it best. She lived through Kennedy dying. She lived through Bobby Kennedy dying. She saw Nixon getting all that stuff. So she said the country swings in both directions every time. So it's like right now we're really far to this one side.
Yep.
and it's a big America fuck yeah party on this side right now. There's gonna come a day where it swings back, and this stuff is gonna bite these people in the ass, and it's messed up because it's like you have, Roman sitting there just like, oh my God, like you said, like I gotta get out of here, so it's just, it sucks because it's like I know that family and I know the views of that. What's funny is a lot of those views don't line up with that. Roman, he says he's a registered Democrat. He says he did vote for Trump, but it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's a complex situation. And I do think the dialogue around it is improving a little bit. You're seeing more people in mixed spaces mingling, which I think is healthy, but just with everything going on right now, you saw a lot of people pull out of that White House event for a reason. Same for 4th of July. You got a lot of artists pulling out of 4th of July too, and it's for a reason. And it was that type of shit right there. Yeah. And it's just, in WWE, they've really leaned in on this, because I know Triple H, I'm pretty sure he's going to pursue a career in politics. So that's going to, definitely, of course, he's trying to line his ducks up. Fair. But it's like, are you lining your ducks up in the right place? Is it going to sacrifice the company?
Well, it's, and again, as someone who has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, I have to thank you both because you also have to be careful who you platform.
Absolutely.
And you guys have chosen to platform me at Comptonmania.
Yeah.
And, I appreciate that. And I understand how that could rub people the wrong way. But this is why you got to be careful who you platform is situations like last night.
So I have a question. Even with WWE going like full MAGA the last 2 years, would you still take a paycheck from them?
No.
I
will again, and maybe it's just the autism in me. It's just, I can't, I haven't watched since they got heavy with the Saudis.
Oh, that's that did kind of rub it. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, the whole energy behind those is weird.
And it's just, it just got worse and worse for me. And I tell you, this year was the first year that I did not watch Royal Rumble or WrestleMania at all.
Wow. Fair.
And it's just too much for me. Especially as someone whose rights are being challenged. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For example, you're always trying to give me advice to get out the state. Yeah. I can't.
That's fair.
My ID, I literally, if I go to a state, I have to drive there because my gender marker, my ID doesn't match. I can't fly on planes.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of their rights are getting...
My ID has to match my birth certificate in order for me to go on planes. I can't get a passport. I can't leave the country.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah. And I'm hearing stories like trans women, and also, again, I grew up in the 80s. My gender marker, if they take that away from me, fine, Again, I've been hate crime before. So, take my gender marker, whatever, it will swing back. I'll probably get it back one day. That's fine.
Yeah.
The problem is, this administration is so screwy, they'll make a rule, but then don't explain how to enforce said rule. So if I go to a DMV and go hey, change my marker back, it depends on the clerk. If the clerk is okay, cool, here's your ID back, you'll get another one in a couple of weeks in the mail, that's cool.
It's up to their discretion.
Yeah. If the clerk's a piece of crap, they'll confiscate my ID, and then I don't have an ID at all.
Right.
No driver's license at all.
Yeah.
And that has happened to trans women.
Wow.
So you look, you gotta have a hookup at the DMV. You gotta have somebody in there that you know personally that won't do that to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So all that's in the air. So I can't be messing around with companies that are helping hurt me and my people.
So, and that's where I think it does get complex, because do you think that possibly you would be able to persuade people in those circles to come to your line of thinking and be like, hey, you support me, right? This shit's really fucking me up, and it's fucking us up. I'd really appreciate it. Do you think that would draw more? I mean, I don't think we could expect empathy out of a lot of these people, but do you think it would just do you think that would help. I mean, that would be my strategy at least. So, like,
Yeah.
make all these motherfuckers job out to me. I'm too much of a politician.
Maybe, but like I feel like you're more optimistic than me.
That's fair.
That it's just, I'm an immigrant's kid. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing what's happening with immigration right now. It's just I'm seeing a group of people who dehumanized me and dehumanized people I love. So it's hard for me to have that hope that they're going to be there for that. That's why I like creating spaces like the one that I'm doing with Kid Bandit and stuff, that we have the show on the 20 on the 3rd, July 3rd.
Okay.
All trans.
What's the name of the show? I'm sorry.
That is T for T Wrestling, and we have Nyla Rose, Sonny Kiss on the card. Kid Bandit's collecting trans wrestlers like they're Infinity Stones. So
Shout out Kid Bandit.
So she's been working really hard, but so that's why I've been working on creating our own spaces, because right now spaces are shrinking. Like where trans and queer wrestlers were popular several years ago, a lot of those same ones that are popular, they're noticing their bookings dwindling because we're not the flavor of the month anymore. You're seeing a lot more people saying crazy stuff on mics.
Absolutely. Oh, well,
booked.
what's funny is I was saying there's going to come like a day, like 5 years from now, you're going to see the biggest fucking apology tour from WWE and UFC both. You're going to see like a fully LGBT card. Like they're going to go, it's going to be a full on, I could see it.
What's the fighter's name again?
Josh Hogan. I didn't want to put his name over, but yeah.
Well, so I think like in times like that, like you have your highest moment. Your highest moment, you win, and then you go and say some stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's classless, and then on top of that too, like feel however way you want to feel. It's your right. You can feel however way you want to feel. You can say whatever you want to say too, but think about it like this: that's somebody's mama. That's somebody's that's Obama's wife. Like, what if somebody talk about your wife?
See, and that's just the thing. Like he took probably the highest moment in his career and he used it to beat down on somebody else.
Well, and this is where, and speaking of the Obamas, and it's like, I feel bad for Roman in a way, not so much that he voted for Trump. It's just more like he has to be there in that situation on a company level.
Yeah.
So he has no choice. And then he's right there in that situation. One thing is, the Obamas lost a lot of the black, like not a lot, but they lost a good amount of black community support. But one thing is, you're not going to go on the White House front lawn and say that and not get backlash from that. And then Roman makes a lot of black money. He has a huge black fan base. And it's one of those things like to go from dissing her to just pivoting to a camera shot, chilling right there. It's a tough position to be in.
And that's the tricky thing, because I can't hold him or Triple. I can't hold him for that, because that's a business move. A lot of times,
I'm just thinking about how fan bases work.
I get it, but what you think, Oni?
That level of misogynoir, like where it's just black women have been called masculine and manly forever. It's part of white supremacy. That's how they try to hurt the black communities, by attacking black women. And again, these are people I love. I would not be alive today if it wasn't for the black women in my life. So to hear people say stuff like that about not only Michelle Obama, who I loved most of her work, like with her trying to get people to eat healthy, her work with kids and stuff like that. Like, like the Obamas are far from perfect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Barack Obama bombed a shit ton of people too.
Yeah.
But politics are difficult in all sense of the words. But like, I'm more upset that I see him attacking a black woman more than him attacking somebody on some political side.
And it's the highest engaged video of the entire event. And the thing is, the entire event would have really been a win without that. That's my thing. Like, it would have been a good event start to finish, but then that right there, that's what's going to be talked about.
Wow.
And it's just, it's hard though, to like, and then you pivot to the top two faces in wrestling. It's hard to say keep politics out of wrestling. It's very difficult because like they get to do all that, but it's like if we speak up on anything, God, I remember 2020. Who a lot of you in wrestling showed your ass that year? 2020 was a rough year. And it would, so that's...
I mean, my existence in wrestling is political.
I feel like a lot of entertainment is political for the vast majority. So it's like, I get it. Hey, like UFC, I get it. You're at the White House, you're on that side, cool. But don't tell me that this is a non-political event to where like you're trying to unite the population and then like this type of shit happens. And so that's,
I mean, it's always been political. Think about Sergeant Slaughter joining
Iraq. He joined Iraq.
He did.
Yeah.
They had to
get it's always
that
been
was
political.
here in LA. They had to get extra security at the sports arena that night.
Man.
Cuz that's like
it's always been political.
Yeah. Come on, like I don't know. Like I said, I don't mind it, but just don't lie about it. Like just stop being so cowardly about it. That's how I see it. But no, but I think it's a lot of complexity when it comes to politics in wrestling. So I could see why it was kept out, because I will say once it got infused, things definitely got a lot more polarizing. Things got a lot different.
I'll tell you, like, there are times where I even tell Chris, I'm like, I wish I didn't know some of these guys' politics.
Yeah.
Like, I miss the time, because again, 2001, everybody kept their politics and religion out of wrestling for the
Very
most
much
part.
so. And not only that,
I didn't know anybody's business, outside of wrestling, unless you became close with them.
and that's what sucks is, like, for example, like you'll see a guy that you had a great match with, great rivalry, great relationship with, and it's like you do all this stuff and then suddenly he's like, yeah, George Floyd deserved it or whatever. It's like, and he just goes online with that. It's like, damn.
And I'll be dangerous and name names.
Go ahead.
Me and Human Tornado.
Oh.
I knew that man for like 10 years. And then he decided to just go off on Twitter and put all kinds of transphobic nonsense out there. And then when I asked him to apologize for it, he doubled down and then had his fans harass me for months. So it's like, again, that's somebody who I considered a friend for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And then, again, something happened during 2020 where it crystallized people's personality.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you were an asshole, 2020 made you an even bigger, harder asshole. Like, if you're a kind person, it made you more empathetic towards people during that time. It's wild. We're in a very wild time.
I agree. And what's funny is, I think this is one of the benefits of having old parents. Like, my parents are old. Like, my parents are older than probably most people's parents in this room. And it's just funny because, like they were living through, or my mom at least, she was just like, yeah, this is bad. But she's like, them 60s were really crazy. Like, yeah, the 60s were nuts. And I feel like we're kind of living through, like, this is our generation's version of the 60s that we're living through. And it's like, it's a lot of wild stuff. I think that this is an issue that is going to get better, because it's almost, I think any minority community deals with issues when increasing integration. I think during the Obama years, your community started getting integrated more, and there's a lot of growing pains that came with that. Gosh, America still doesn't fully accept the black community, and they integrated 70 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's one of those things where I think you need to keep up the fight. In my opinion, I just want to see you be more strategic in your fight. Mm-hmm. That's how, okay, because I think you're fighting for a great cause. I think you can help a lot of people. I just don't want to see you take yourself out of the fight.
Yeah. No, and again, like, when certain situations where I take, like, it's funny because, like, what you mean specifically is, I've gotten to a part where I'll see a new promotion pop up, and I'll look at their first flyer, and I'm like, I don't want to share a locker room with that person. Yeah. And then I just back out, and I'm like, that's it. I won't even try. Won't even send in a resume, nothing. Yeah. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. And it just, again, Like, why am I going to put myself in a position? Okay, martial artists again.
Okay.
You know, there's not a lot of professional wrestlers that could shoot fight.
That's fair.
Some of them,
yeah.
some of them
true.
have never been shot,
punched in the face. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very true.
That's a fact.
and I have. I have a lot of shoot fighting experience. I could handle myself. But again, if I show that I'm going to put myself in a dangerous situation, and my students who may not be able to shoot fight as well as they do, I don't want them to think that space is a safe space for them.
That's fair.
So that's where I'm like, it's combat sports is wild because like we have wrestling, which is more entertainment and all that. We all know that nowadays. Like you and I are actually buddies. You know, I've misted you before.
Yeah,
We're
literally,
actually
yeah,
buddies,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But like, I don't feel comfortable going into combat sports gyms anymore because although I can handle myself, how do I know the person across from me won't turn that sparring session into a hate crime? And that's the same thing that I got worried about with certain wrestlers sharing locker rooms with my kids. And that's how I see some of my students are in their 30s. They're still my kids.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know? Like, I don't subscribe to the whole, like, vet thing. The drag community, we have our drag mamas. I'm very maternal. I'm nobody's vet. I'm here to take care of you. I'll be maternal. I will give you the best advice I can give you. I will try to set you up for success. If you choose to do something else, that's on you. You're a grown person. But I'm not going to guilt you like some of this like vet stuff. Like I'm pulling the vet card. You better listen to me, or I'm going to stiff you in the ring. No, I'm not about that stuff. But I got to lead by example. So that's just these are the avenues that I have to think about when I put myself in situations. I know I could take care of myself. I'm worried about my kids.
Yeah. One thing that I love about you and Pris is I love the colors, I love the fringe, I love the energy. You know what I'm saying? And I just, man, ONI, you already know I've been telling you since I saw you. I met you through Sean Black. You know what I mean? Like
Shout out to Sean.
I seen you get into like the best shape of your freaking like you have freaking like really just got better and better as time goes on, and I'm excited to continue.
Well, and that's why I want to see him get
you.
more. You know, I want to see you get more platforms.
Oh, it's happening.
You know,
That's the
like
funny thing about teaching. Because I've been teaching so much lately, I'm wrestling more now than my busiest time in my career because I am wrestling at training multiple times a week. So that helps you get in shape when you're constantly working.
For sure. So, ONI, what you got coming up?
Again, I have T for T coming up in July 3rd.
Where's that at?
That it's going to be here in LA.
Okay.
You can find it on my social medias. All my social medias are at the American ONI.
Okay.
But yeah, again, not only do we have people like Sunny Kiss and all of them on the cards, but Kid Bandit, Darwin Finch, Richie Coy. They have been the head trainers for this camp that I've been helping with. I've been there since day one too. But we've been working with all these kids, everybody either trans, non-binary, gender non-conforming, and they are all going to have their first match on this show.
Wow.
So
this is actually my next question. Do you think that that your community in wrestling would be better served by sticking together, or do you think like they should be more mingling, just integrating in? Like that's a genuine question.
So this is part of what I have a long-term plan for this. My strategy is I am creating safe spaces now to show them what a place could be and what they have to put up with and what they don't have to put up with. And Bash Back is my student showcase.
Okay.
Our next Bash Back is in September. I am planning to crown the first Bash Back champion on that show.
Okay.
then I'm going to take that champion around and see if I could get them to defend those titles on other shows.
Okay.
So I could start integrating my students into other experiences in a safe space, in quality wrestling organizations with quality talent where they don't have to put up with it. So I just have their back. I'm not gonna force their careers one way or another. If they decide they want to go wrestle somewhere without me, good on them. But I want to help guide them and integrate them in it. But again, I want them to understand consent and being comfortable saying no. You guys were talking about those 5 moves you wouldn't do earlier.
Yeah.
You got
Same thing.
5?
Yeah, what's the 5 moves you won't
Okay,
take? Yeah.
Most drivers.
Fair.
I'm going to protect my neck.
Okay.
Most drivers. Shoot. I'm not a big fan of that Canadian Destroyer either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like being double stomped.
Oh.
Yeah, the same thing. You and I were talking about, like, people
Yeah.
double stomping us earlier. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I can only think of, like, Styles Clash.
Styles Clash. Oh, boy. Styles Clash. Yeah, if that goes wrong, you are donezo.
And that's only simply because I have had, again, I've been doing these bumps since I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been tucking my chin
Yeah.
for over 35 years. And the one move where you have to do this instead, I'm like,
God.
that
Oh,
will
yeah.
get me. That'll get
Absolutely.
me. But that's the only ones I could think of, really. Like,
Oh, the vertebrae.
I'm pretty
That's another.
comfortable.
Oh.
I mean, what happened with Yoshitatsu?
Yes.
Like, it put him out for a long time.
Yes. That was horrible.
Yeah, and it's just, and that's with AJ. Like, AJ is probably one of the one people that I'd be like, all right, I guess it's
Yeah,
AJ
right.
style.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but like most indie guys, if they're like, I'm a Styles Clash, no, you're not. Like, I've had guys try to call drivers in a match, and I'll sandbag them. You're just like, nope.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's consent is key. Consent
sure.
is key.
Consent is key. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the culture of Comptonmania. Oni, we would love to have you back on again.
Great
you know
discussion.
what I'm saying?
Great dialogue.
Awesome discussion, man. Look, make sure you guys look, June 21st. June 21st, happy Father's Day, all right? We're at the Compton Airport, Gym Work Fest. Flight risk. We got 3 great matches. Come on down from 11 to 6. It's free. Underground hip hop meets underground wrestling at the Compton Airport. I'm Deshaun Showtime Watkins.
I am the Booker Man Shiloh Greaves.
I'm the Pride Fighter American Oni.
I'm cool ass Cam, the coolest motherfucker on the planet.
And you heard it. He's the coolest. You can't stop him.